What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. We have drawn 2-2 at the Amex Stadium. After being 2-0 down, we claim a credible point away at Brighton. It wasn't going to be an easy game. I thought that going into it. I didn't think Brighton was going to be a game which I'm expecting to win. I really thought it was going to be a tough game, and so it kind of proved. I think looking at the lineup, I wasn't too unhappy. I think we made some changes. Odegaard comes in on the left-hand side, started Bergvall getting the 10. Doggy gets his first start of the season, and I think we started off really well. Doggy, Odegaard, really providing some really good moments down the left-hand side. Great link-up between the pair. Early on, and I think they were a kind of thorn in Brighton's side for a lot of the game. But I thought they started off really well, but we got caught cold after 10 minutes after dominating the early proceedings. Brighton, one long ball over the top, Minte catching the defence out and goes, we were pressing really high up. He catches us out, goes through one-on-one, rounds Vicario and makes it 1-0 to Brighton. And that was kind of a lesson in how we can be dominating, but if we're not careful, we can be caught cold in the counter-attack, and Brighton kind of absolutely did us on that one moment. And from then on, I think we still continued to play good football. We created good chances. I think Richarlison was being a nuisance up front. Kudus was causing problems with Kadioglu. Bergvall, though, was struggling to get in the game. I think a real problem was our midfield. Paulinho, Bentancur, Bergvall weren't really dominating it as much as they should in the middle of the park. And when it comes to on the ball creating chances, we created some half chances, but there weren't real clear-cut opportunities. We were kind of struggling to progress the ball again, kind of in dangerous areas. I think the football we were playing has probably been better than it's been in the previous games. I think it was a bit sharper, a bit more incisive. But when it came to clear-cut opportunities, yeah, I mean, we had one from Richarlison. Porro plays an early ball over the top, which Richarlison fires wide. Odegaard had an opportunity on the half volley, which he flashed wide. And then Brighton obviously make it 2-0 with a goal out of absolutely nothing. They kind of took an opportunity to press us quite high up. Bergvall messes up a clearance. It falls to Ayari. He's kind of about 30 yards from goal, wide to the left-hand side. He cuts inside and just absolutely hammers it into the far corner. But you have to say, Vicario has to hang in head in shame in that one, because it's an absolute horror show from him. He gets a massive hand to it, but allows the ball to spill into the back of the net. No keeper at this level should be allowing that goal to go in. It's very disappointing from him. It's a decent strike from Ayari, don't get me wrong. It's not in the corner. He gets a big hand on his he gets a big left-handed wrist to it, and he allowed it. It wasn't strong enough. He allowed the ball to spill into the back of the net, and that gives Brighton a massive advantage in this game. It gives Tottenham a mountain to climb. Lucky for Spurs, we kept probing and pressing Brighton. We didn't give up. We didn't kind of let our heads drop, and before the half-time whistle, we did get the goal back, and that was crucial, I think, in this game, and us getting a point, because it just gave us a little bit of boost before half-time, knowing we're still in this game and we can still score. Good build-up play this time between Kudus, Bentancur dribbling into the area, lays off Odegaard, who passes it back to him. Bentancur showed composure, laying it off for Mohamed Kudus, whose effort was blocked actually by Richarlison himself before his second touch was him scrambling it over the line and making it 2-1. Richarlison getting his third goal of the season and continuing his impressive start to the season. So we make it 2-1 just before half-time, which I think was probably deserved to get back in the game. And second half, I think Spurs will feel quite unlucky we didn't end up probably with all 3 points, albeit Brighton, once Spurs equalised, probably looked more likely to score. But we'll go through how the half went. So started the half fairly strongly, creating some kind of half chances, some decent openings from crosses, but weren't again being incisive enough until Frank made this one change that completely changed the trajectory of the game, in my opinion. He took off Bentancur, he put on Xavi Simons, he put Xavi in the 10, he put Bentancur a bit deeper in the 8, and put Bergvall next to Paulinho with Xavi in the 10. And I think that completely changed the game. I think Bergvall was, having a bit of a lackluster game before the change of his position, and all of a sudden he became alive. I think he was absolutely immense all of a sudden in that number 8 position. He was battling away, putting in strong challenges, but also on the ball, always looking forward, always looking progressive. And Brighton didn't really know how to deal with him. They were so used to having Bentancur and Paulinho there throughout the game, who were playing safe passes. All of a sudden, Bergvall asking lots of different questions of their midfield, and he was finding the answers as well. And as well, Xavi, what an absolute delight he was in that second half. Was a real joy to behold. He came on in his favourite position, in the number 10, and he showed exactly why everyone's been calling for him to play in that position, because I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. Getting on the ball, was creative, was able to dribble, weave in and out of challenges, had a shot from the edge of the area which was brilliantly saved from Verbruggen, who tipped it wide. A brilliant effort from Xavi Simons. He was just playing in those pockets of spaces, make it really hard for Brighton to pick him up. And the goal came from another good piece of play from him. He just weaves in and out 2 challenges, plays a really good switcher play out wide to Kudus, who plays an early ball in, cuts inside, plays an early ball in it. Bit of luck, falls in off Van Hecker, and we get the equaliser. And Kudus was getting more and more joy in that second half. Xavi could have scored before as well. Kudus with a brilliant run down the right side, cuts it back. Bergvall with an expert dummy that leaves Xavi with just to stroke it home, and he hits it wide. So close as well. But I think he was causing lots of trouble, Xavi. And obviously with 10 minutes to go, we did deservedly get that equaliser. It was all Tottenham looking like we were going to change it. But we get the equaliser, and I have to say, he then changes it again, Frank, puts on Archie Gray, puts on Spence, and I thought we kind of gave up a lot of the momentum we had in those last 10 minutes, and all of a sudden Brighton got a second wind. They looked way a bit more in the ascendancy, I felt, in the latter stages of the game. And Welbeck has obviously had come on, he was stretching the game, he looked dangerous. Milner had a bit of energy about him, and they forced Tottenham back quite a bit. I thought Spence came on, had a nice cameo, but we were forced back. We didn't really get close, apart from a late effort from Kudus, which was deflected just over the bar. That was the closest we came to scoring. But at 2-2, all the momentum was with Tottenham, and I don't think we took full advantage of it. But I have to say, 2-0 down, I think it's a brilliant result. I think the way we came back, we changed things tactically. I think the way Frank managed the game, you've got to give him a lot of credit, because at 2-0 down away at a very difficult side like Brighton, who have got lots of quality, a very smart manager, I think we actually dealt with it really well. And we come back to earn a very valuable point. And I'm going to take that point. I think it's a good point. Before the game, I was saying it's not going to be an easy game for Spurs. I don't think this is a game I take for granted or expect to win. So when we come back from 2-0 down and we manage to get back in the game the way we did, put pressure on Brighton, force mistakes. I think the second half, the way we were pressing them was fantastic, and Brighton really struggled to deal with it. And credit to Tottenham and credit to Thomas Frank. I think we got a point in very, very difficult circumstances. We played a lot better football today as well. I have to say, I think we're starting to get to grips with how Frank wants us to be on the ball. I think the football was a lot better today. And I think, we created some good opportunities. And I think we saw a midfield today that I want to see a lot more. Bergvall in the 8 and Xavi in the 10. I want to see that a lot more often after today's performance, because we look so much better when that midfield 3 was playing. So I think Frank has to learn from that in a lot of these kind of games. We have to back our quality, and I feel like when we play these Bournemouths and Brightons, we want those extra protection with Bentancur and Paulinho together, and it's not enough quality on the ball, and we need some more of quality, in my opinion. So you get Xavi in there, you get Bergvall in there. I think that's really going to help us. Some notable mentions for man of the match for me. Destiny Udogie, absolutely phenomenal. I thought he, for me, best player on the pitch. I thought he was fantastic. Came in for his first start, barely put a foot wrong. I thought he really showed what we were missing down that left-hand side, that ability to get to the byline, create chances, get those cutbacks. But defensively, this is what I was saying about Udogie. When he's at his best, like he was today, he is fantastic defensively. And I know Spence has been brilliant. Sorry. I know Spencer's been brilliant defensively since coming back, but I thought Doggy was phenomenal as well. And this is what I've been saying about him. When he's at his best, he is nearly as good as Spence defensively. And Minter had a really difficult time up against him in those one-on-one situations. I know he scored. It was more when he was caught, when the Doggy was caught up the pitch, but I thought Doggy was fantastic, was a bundle of energy throughout the whole game. Brighton just really struggled to deal with him. So I thought Doggy, for me, probably man of the match. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. Xavi had a brilliant cameo. I actually think Richarlison had a pretty decent game. He was a nuisance. I thought he wasn't being bullied in this one. I actually thought he was providing a really big battle for Van Hecke, who I thought had a good game, got his goal, and was a nuisance throughout the whole game. His link-up play a lot better today than it had been in previous games. So really good play from Richarlison. Bergvall, superb when he moved a bit deeper. I thought in the 10, wasn't quite cutting it today. Once he moved to the 8, I thought he was absolutely phenomenal, maybe even the best player on the pitch. And yeah, Xavi, fantastic in the 10 once he moved in, once he came on. Fantastic. I thought Romero had a really big second half. I thought he looked really good. Really happy with him. Obviously Van der Ven as well. Yeah, obviously Vicario, we've spoken about him. Bad mistake. Got to be doing better there for that goal. I'm sorry. Yeah, so good point. 2-0 down away from home. I think you've got to be somewhat content with that. So I think a twinge of annoyance that we didn't go on to win the game, and we should have really, especially in that second half, we had the ascendancy and we didn't quite take full advantage of it. But I think a lot of positives from today. A lot of positives from Frank, who, by the way, came back from 2-0 down for the full 1-0 down even. Came back from behind for the first time as Tottenham manager. I had questions of Frank saying, it's all well and good managing the game when you're in the lead, but what are you capable of when you're behind? Can you change the game? And can you get us back in the game? He did that today. Yeah, people in the comments, Kudus, sensational second half. Kadioglu will be having nightmares of Kudus in that second half. He ran rings around him, got the assist for the own goal as well. So yeah, Kudus absolutely fantastic in that second half. Yeah, I think Johnson wasn't the right sub, to be honest. I didn't like his cameo. Wasn't good. I think I'd rather Tell in the situation off the left-hand side rather than Kudus. Rather than Johnson, sorry. I thought Kudus was brilliant that second half. I mentioned him, all right? I think Kudus was brilliant. So, yeah, lots to be encouraged about, lots to be happy about, but it was only a draw. We didn't win the game. So we'll be happy with it. You take the point. It's one of those points where I think when you look back on late in the season, you think it'll be a point we we'll be happy about come the end of the season. Hopefully it's a valuable point. Not many teams will be 2-0 down to Brighton and come back. So fair play to Spurs, fair play to Frank. Lots of positive performances in there. Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on today's game? Are you happy with the performance? Who stood out for you? Let me know in the comment section below. But that is your instant match reaction.